Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector, is a general or collective reading. So just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. If you are watching this right now, this is a timely reading, so it's the perfect time to be watching it. If it's been some time since I posted this, check back what was going on in your life back then, and it may give you further clarity on your situation. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Fool. And that's my cat Stella. Are you going to come up here? Come on. Come on. She loves whenever I do a reading, she has to be here. So you be nice now and you lay down on my lap and you purr. Her job is to purr. She does a good job of it. All right, she's got happy feet, so we're gonna have this purring vibe happening soon. All right, a lot of healing energy in a cat's purr. The Fool is starting out on his journey at the 0 point, and he is, like on the beginning of his journey. And he starts at the 0 point, and then he goes through all the cards in the major arcana, and there's 21 of them. And the last one is the World. He gets there, and then he starts a new cycle again. He's got his little companion here. This white dog represents innocence, and he also has just a very small bundle with him because he's starting a brand new cycle, and he doesn't have a lot of baggage to carry. We have the Two of Pentacles. So this card is representing that there's some multitasking going on, like someone who's very busy. And so this can represent, the Pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness, abundance in 3D world. It's, you could have all the money in the world, and it does represent money, but you could have all the money in the world and still not feel like you have the lifestyle you want. So this is more like about, the rounded out lifestyle that you're living. And this card is saying that this person could be juggling 2 coins. This could be you. You may be working 2 jobs, or you might be going to school and working, that kind of energy to pay for school. And what it's saying is, like, you can see the waves in the background here. And the ship is smaller, and the ship's getting bigger by the end here. It's saying that you're gaining momentum. So, multitasking is great. This card just warns, don't multitask to the point where you're sacrificing quality over for quantity, basically. Because sometimes we can get to the point where we are multitasking so much that we have to go back and redo. And then that's when okay, it's too much. And this card also says, juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals. Okay, and then we have Temperance. All right, so Temperance is talking about having devotion for your divine path that you came down here on earth for. So this is your soul, what your soul needs from you. And so this is interesting because we've got what your physical world needs, and then we have what your soul needs. And there seems to be maybe some juggling between the two. So a lot of people feel like they'll say, I'm a human being with a soul, but you're actually a soul traveling in a human body. And your human body is your vehicle for you to navigate through planet Earth, basically. And this, I just feel there's some energy here. You've got one foot. This is an angel, and Temperance is actually about having patience, and so it's about like not losing your temper and just being like temperate. And she's testing the waters here. She's got her right foot in the this is representing universal waters, and then she's got her left foot grounded on earth. And this is saying that this is her destined path here. And so this is about, she's doing alchemy here. So she's adding her special mix, between the universe and herself and earth, so that she can bring it down to earth kind of energy. And being on her destined path means that she's got devotion to it. And so that's what temperance is basically about. A lot of people feel that this is saying that God sends down angels to the earth that are in human form, and they basically do missions on the earth. So it's saying stay on your path. The sun in the background represents God. You're part of his plan. And there's God again saying, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're on a new cycle now. Make sure you stay on the path. Okay. So this is kind of like a graduation ceremony, is what I'm getting. It's interesting. I just did a random shift reading, and it was about graduation, and I feel like this might be somewhat of a continuation or along the same lines. So this card is the happiest card in the deck. It's the sun is shining on you. The sun reflects all its happiness to all the other cards that we're going to see in this reading. And it also sheds light on it. So it illuminates what's unknown. And it's from God himself, like that's the energy. And so this is representing you when you were a child. And it's saying, hey, look how carefree, and this is how you need to be. You don't want to be multitasking so much. It could be, you might be really tired right now. Especially, I'm picking up this energy of maybe going to school as well as going to, having to work. But it also could be juggling 2 jobs. This could also represent juggling, like if you're parents and you're juggling your children with work, and those needs. And also it could be like juggling, like you might be caught in between that time where your parents are getting older and your children still need you too. Which is a busy time for people when you're in that space. So the sun is talking about the sunflowers are following the sun. And what is significant, I feel right now about this card, today is the 27th of January, and I will be posting this on the 28th. So this energy right now, we're moving into February pretty quick here. We've got a full moon on the very first day of February, and that full moon is in Leo. So if that comes up, I'll look at that. But we also, on February 17th, we have like the Chinese New Year coming in. And so the Chinese New Year is going to be on the 17th, will be the first day of the year of the fiery horse energy. And the fiery horse energy, as soon as it comes up in my readings right now, I address it just to make sure people realize, because this energy is really powerful and it's like really good for manifesting. And that's why I'm bringing it up. It's saying and you're like your 3rd card in, you've already got the horse energy coming in, and a lot of people are feeling it. It's very free-spirited. It makes you want to set really high goals and achieve them. It's in matters of love, it's like all heart and passion. That's what horses are about. And it's really, really, fiery energy, like really like ambitious and really, think about when you're riding a horse, the freedom that you feel. The danger with this energy is that, especially if you're a fire sign, is that the energy is so fast, like it wants to go fast. And so this can be very impulsive energy. And so if you're already like a fire sign and you're a little on the impulsive side, you want to kind of rein her in, And if you've ever ridden a horse and you understand how the bit in the mouth works, I mean, the corners of a horse's mouth are very delicate. And so that's how the reins, they can just tell by the way you're pulling on the reins which direction you want them to go when they're trained that way. But if a horse gets spooked and it grabs the bit and it has it in its teeth, it can run, and it can run fast, and it could be bucking and running, and you could be falling off and it won't care. It'll just keep going. And so that kind of energy is what you want to avoid. You don't want to have impulsive behavior. Like if you're on foot and you get, like say you got mad at someone and then you thought, I'm just going to go for a run. and you go for a run, like halfway through the run, like I always find if I go for a run, halfway through the run, I don't remember. I'm so full of those positive endorphins that I'm like, wow, what was I mad about? You know, like you don't even remember. Don't care about it anymore. Get back home. You avoid the argument. But if you're on a horse and it runs really far, it could take you in the wrong direction, like really in a bad way. So you want to rein that in and just be aware of it. This is saying you're definitely on your destined path, because God's coming in right away and saying, just make sure you stay on your path. You're on a new cycle right now. And I feel like it's you're gaining momentum. Like you're almost there. Don't get overtired. That's the other thing. This horse energy can really, and people are feeling it already for sure. I've noticed it in a lot of the readings. So you can get to the point where you're doing too much, too fast, like this, and you get burnt out, and then you don't make it to the finish line. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles coming in. And so the Queen of Pentacles is sitting on her throne. She's very well known for being able to make something out of nothing. Like she is very resourceful. Quite often the Queen of Pentacles, like this shows that this is generational wealth. There's potential for generational wealth, meaning that it's a legacy that you can hand down to your children and your grandchildren, you know, like that kind of energy. So there's a lot of money that could be made, and a lot of, like, not just money, but lifestyle, etc. And quite often the Queen of Pentacles comes from a family where there is generational wealth. And so, you know, old money, people that come from old money, they don't flash it around like people that come from new money. And so it's kind of like she doesn't go out and just purchase things like, you know, just, oh, I have to have this and that to impress everybody. She's more likely to, she likes quality over quantity. And so that's the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. She's someone that's stable. She understands how to run like a business. She understands how to run a household. She's good with finances, that kind of energy. Someone you can rely on. And this is the Two of Wands. So the Wands represent fire and action. And so like this energy is saying that this is like almost like someone, he's standing on the turret of his castle and he's overlooking his domain. And he's like, got the globe in his hand. And this is just representing someone that feels like they're a big fish in a little pond, like almost swimming in circles now, ready to move forward. And just understand also that the Queen could be a male in his feminine energy, as well as a female in her feminine energy. And this figure, this male, could be a female in her masculine energy. Quite often, I feel like this is like someone who wants to franchise a business. Like if it has to do with pentacles and business, we don't have any really cups of love at this point, except for devotion to your soul's path. So this is talking about, you know, he's got one wand planted here, and he's looking out over the horizon and even across the waters. So I feel like this is an energy of wanting to expand. It could be just like you wanting to move to another city or province or state or a country. Or it could be like you have a business and it's doing really well. But you feel like there's not, like you're at the peak, and you might be in a smaller center or whatever, and you want to expand and maybe start another franchise, or you want to start another business somewhere else, and it might be something related to your business but slightly different. That kind of energy. So it's kind of like trying to decide, should I move on? Like, should I move forward? Then we have, now we have 3 cups coming in. So this isn't my favorite love card. I'll tell you right off the beginning. Just because there's several reasons why. The cups do represent romantic love a lot of the time, but sometimes they just represent love of what you do or what you want to be. And what I notice about this card is these people are toasting, but they're not looking at each other. They're looking at some sort of action that's been taken or that kind of energy. And there's three here, and usually, two's company, three's a crowd in romantic, life. And they're definitely not looking at each other. And um, in a lot of cultures, in a lot of countries, particularly in Europe, if you don't look someone in the eye when you toast them, there's a superstition that a lot of people have that it will cause you 7 years bad luck in your love life. And so if you've been having a rocky love life, make sure when you toast someone, you look them in the eye. But this energy is, quite often I feel like it can be saying that there's kind of malicious gossip and, that kind of energy around it. It's not my favorite. I almost get it, like it followed right after this card, because we have all this really great energy here, really. I mean, you might be multitasking a bit too much, but if you're good at multitasking, it's not an issue, especially like a lot of mothers have to multitask, our parents, right? I mean, how else are you going to get it all done in a day? But this is talking like, I feel like there's a reason why you want to leave where you're at. And there's a reason, and part of the reason is there's like just the people there. There's a lot of malicious gossip. You might be from a smaller center. That's what I was getting earlier. And smaller centers are great, but everybody knows everybody else's business, and maybe you want to be a little bit more private. And so here we have the Empress. Okay, so the Empress represents someone who embodies all the qualities of all four queens. And this is talking about someone who generates energy. She's like a magnet for attracting really good shift. So this is a really good card again also. And so I feel this is representing your energy, because this is like someone who's really busy multitasking, has a lot going on, not necessarily juggling, but has a lot going on. And, you're concerned about your spiritual side and staying on your divine path. And that's what you're on right now. And the sun is shining down upon you. The sunflowers are turning with you. And you're good at managing money, and you have a good lifestyle. I feel like you have a very successful business, and you might be wanting to move forward. But of course, there's jealousy and there's a lot of gossip about you. I feel that's the energy. And so this new energy of wanting to move forward on a different cycle could just represent that. Like it's time to, hey, I'm ready to move forward. The Empress embodies the qualities of all four of the queens in the minor arcana. So it's like she has all the qualities that we discussed in the Queen of Pentacles. Plus she has the Queen of Cups energy, which means that she has a lot of love. And, she's maternal, like really good with children and all of that kind of energy. And the Queen of Wands, who's very sexy and a natural beauty, and uses her intuition and her logic to really find creative solutions to any problem with a real optimistic outlook. And then we also have the Queen of Swords, who's a little bit more on the cold side, but it's because she's learned discernment. And she's been there, done that, has a t-shirt, and she won't put up with any bullshit. And the Empress is in the position, so that's all those qualities. But the Empress is also known to be pregnant with possibilities, and actually can represent someone who's actually pregnant. So, you'll know if that. And there's new passion here. So this is God is saying, hey, the universe is going to send you a new passion for discovery. So this could be regarding, that you want to move to somewhere to start a different kind of business or a project or whatever. Or this could be passionate love coming in. We don't know yet. We'll see here. We have also, wow, we have the Ace of Pentacles too. So it's saying, hey, this could be a business partnership. It looks like that this could be something very lucrative in business. So if you have an idea here, like this is really promising. This bottom row here, it represents having you know, the tools that you need. And like you have the tools. Like this is beautiful for moving, you know, like you have everything. And this could be a celebration. We don't know for sure. It's just, we don't know yet. It's not my favorite card for celebrating yet. But the Pentacle, this is saying you are being rewarded for staying on your path. And this represents the North Star. The North Star is your the path that you were that God has this big plan in place, and you are a part of that plan. We all are, and this is a reward for staying on your North Star path. And then whoa, look at that, and an Ace of Cups. You might be, now it's like, okay, you're going to have a passion for new discovery about a project or some sort of business idea. And it's going to it's going to be lucrative. It's going to bring you the lifestyle that you want. And it's also at the same time going to bring in a divine partner, a counterpart for energy. Now, with these cards, I feel like this is definitely like someone coming in, if in your romantic love life, and that it could be someone that you're going to be working with, or that you meet through work or whatever. So if you've met anyone from work or whatever, like this is really a good reading, man. I'll claim this. Yeah, look at this. The knight in shining armor is coming in with an offer of love for you, and it's right, and God is saying, I'm sending them. This is someone reliable. I'm sending them to you. Really, really cool energy. So this is like, can we just stop here? It's so beautiful. I'm scared to keep going. Who wouldn't want this? This is awesome. Like really beautiful energy. The knight in shining armor is the person that comes in. He's dressed to the nines. He's doing everything properly, you know. You can see, look at this. The horse it almost looks like your horse, like when you were little. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Really interesting. So this could be you. Remember, the Empress can be a male or a female, but I feel like this is more a female energy just because of what's happening here. That was my first impression. It could be either or. And then, you know, the knights, they would work for the king and the queen in the court, and they would go for miles, you know, delivering messages from one kingdom to the other. And, you know, back in those days, it could take a long time. Like they'd have to ride all the way to the other kingdom, and then they'd have to get the message to the person there, and then they would have to have that returned and come all the way back, kind of energy. And you know, there could be like battles on the way. You never know, like robberies. You know how, if you've watched any Robin Hood. So this energy is talking about communication coming in. And quite often this represents a proposal, like of marriage. But it can just represent, you know, I want to get to know you and go on a first date with you energy also, if you haven't met someone. But if you already have and you've been dating, then it's saying like this is probably a relationship that could end up with a commitment, with a serious commitment. And the way that the information comes in is probably doesn't necessarily, like it's unlikely actually at first that it's going to come in as in person, but it could be like a phone call, a text, you know, that kind of energy, an email, because I feel like you might meet this person through work first, and then, you know, you're both attracted to each other. So hopefully this isn't your boss or something. I feel like it's more like someone, I don't know, I'm really getting entrepreneur energy. I'm not really getting like working for a company, but maybe they work for a company and you're an entrepreneur, something like that. That's just my energy I'm picking up from this. And then we have all these opportunities coming in. So each of these cups represents an opportunity. There's a gift in each cup. Each gift is a different gift. And it's up to you to decide. And this is like such a good problem to have. Oh no, I don't know which gift I'm going to accept. And so these are all opportunities. Now, a lot of these cups could be like, disguised as challenges. There's a lot of the times possibilities are disguised as challenges, because when you're being given this, you still have to put your energy into it and put the work into it. That's why I feel like this is like, I feel like there's something that maybe an idea you have right now. If you have any, write down your great ideas right now, because man, like this is 3 aces, bang, in a row, and then a love offer, and it's sitting where, like, right after the divine. The Ace of Cups is about your divine partner. And it's sitting on the card, the happiest card in the deck. And the horse looks like a grown-up of the horse you used to ride when you were young. It's really, really interesting. So that's why, like, the knight, keep in mind, the knights can be females in their masculine energy in the other way. So you have all these opportunities, and you can choose them as you go, so you're not multitasking too much. This is saying you don't have to worry. This is going to be, you don't have to take everything at once. If you don't, oh no, if I don't do it right away, I have to, oh, now I got to multitask even more. It's more like, no, like these are here for you, and you are destined to have them. As long as you stay on your path, these opportunities are going to come in for you. And as I said, some may be presented as challenges, but they're all opportunities. And there's going to be a lot of competition. And I see that's that energy here. This is my Mean Girls card. So this is like the 5 of Wands represents immature competition. So the immature, like, and I feel like it's saying you don't need to get into this energy. That's what it's saying. If you think about narcissistic cheerleaders that like they're watching the other team and they know, that team's better than us, but they don't care. They have to win. And if they don't manage to figure out how they're going to win, their mothers will do it for them. So it's that kind of energy. It's talking like when people haven't realized yet that no matter, like if you're competing against a team, if you're on a team and there's another team there, of course you're competing against them in a sporting event or whatever, but really you're not competing against the team players so much as you're competing within yourself to do your absolute best, especially if it's a final or something, to keep your mind in the game kind of energy, and also to be a really good team player and to really, do well with the team. And if your team does that, then you're more likely to win. It's that kind of energy. So you have all these like tools, and these are the obstacles where you don't really have any except some competition. And I feel like it's like this is actually saying there is no competition. This is a really beautiful reading. You don't get that many. If this is your obstacles, then you're in pretty good shape. The Hierophant is coming in with a blessing. So I don't know, in the past, you might have really been up against some real nasty competition, And it could, I don't know, like if you've already met this person, it could be regarding them, partly. I don't know, but it's saying, I feel like that's what it's about, because the Hierophant's right on here. And it's like you're spoiled for choice. You could have anyone you want. Like, you're highly desirable. You're an empress. So the Hierophant is in between these two pillars. And he is here to bring in traditional structure. So this can represent someone that can marry you, that kind of energy. It also represents like the extremes, good and bad, dark and light, that kind of energy. And this is also about traditional structure in the spiritual world being brought down to the physical world. That's why these 2 monks are at his feet. So this, like, if you consider religion to be spiritual, then the religion, this would be the Pope, the Bishop, the Cardinal, that kind of someone in the traditional structure. and the monks, doing what he says to do, basically. And also this represents, everything that happens on as above, so below kind of energy. So everything that happens on a spiritual level and like spiritual court comes down to the planet. So if there was some sort of injustice somewhere, it's saying that the Hierophant has a blessing for you on top of everything else. This is a good reading. You may have been left out in the cold. You may be recovering from that, and that's why you're multitasking. So this energy talks about tactics kind of being used to have someone kind of run out of town is the energy. Now, this could be you, the Queen of Pentacles, and this could be some empress in the town that doesn't like the competition. So maybe you're not the empress, and maybe the empress is saying, get the hell out of my town. And you're like, okay, that's the obstacle. And then God steps in and says, good for you. Get the hell out of there. Well, probably God doesn't say get the hell out. He probably says get the heck out. So here we have like, people that have been left out in the cold. And in the old days, like if you had the plague, they would hang a bell on your neck. So this guy's got a bell. That way they could hear you coming. Can you imagine trying to buy groceries when you get this bell saying you have the plague, or hey, can I have a job? So it really, what it's saying is it debilitates your ability. This person's on crutches, and this one's barefoot in the snow. So this is saying like this is a church window. They could go in there and get respite, but it looks like they might, but they're walking, and the snow represents tactics that sometimes people, like snowflakes. We can all handle a flake or two, but you get a lot of snowflakes, and a lot of people right now, if you're in Canada or in North America, like in certain parts of the States, there's like all these storms, right? And I'm so fortunate right now where I am. It's like, really beautiful weather. The sun is shining. It's like, it's been like that all winter. But in parts like in the prairies in Canada, and in particular right now on the East Coast, they are getting walloped with snow. And so this energy, like at first when it, like if there's a few flakes, oh, they're kind of pretty and, you can enjoy them. But then if they pile up, they can actually collapse your roof in, right? So it's kind of that energy, feeling left out in the cold. Now, this card has been coming up a lot lately, but it always is coming in like it's sitting on the happy card too, and on this romance and the opportunities. And a lot of times, when you're reading this card, sometimes it could just say that you don't feel like you fit in. And that was the energy I was picking up here. And it could be because of this competition energy. And, but like I already got with this reading here, that you don't have to worry about the competition. And I don't think you are, but it's more like you just don't feel like you fit in, and you don't, and you're not supposed to. That's what God is saying. You're not meant to fit in. So don't be upset if you don't fit in. You're meant to stand out. I made you so you would stand out. That's what God is saying. That's why I'm giving you all these opportunities, because I want you to stand out, because you're going to do some beautiful work for me, whatever that is. And look at, this is the passion for new discovery. Now there's some communication coming in. We have a page on top of this energy. And so the page, they would work for the king and queen when around the age of 7 to 14. And they would be from like the surrounding, like some, higher society people, their children starting to work. And this is talking about, someone who's under the age of 21. And it doesn't mean it's your age, but it's the energy I'm talking about. And so this is someone that has a youthful exuberance, like really enthusiastic. They've got a feather in their cap, and the wand's energy is the fire. It's the element of fire. And, this young guy, he's really admiring his wand. This represents passion. So sometimes this energy can say that this person is thinking with their little head instead of their big head. So it's that kind of like, rein in the passion if it's getting a little out of hand. And also, like if you're looking at it like from this perspective here, you're going to, this energy is someone that has a lot of opportunities to date and whatever. So also the pyramids there represent the mysteries of the world, and really enjoying, you know, traveling and meeting new people and just having a really enthusiastic energy moving forward. And then we have reconciliation. So this is interesting. Here you are trying to leave town and you want to reconcile with someone. So this could say that this love interest of yours, business partner energy, is someone that you already know. So you may have already met this person through work or whatever. Or you may, this energy could be, yeah, it's really interesting because it's almost like this energy here. But this is talking like, when you look at this card, the first thing, like a lot of people, oh, that's two kids playing in the yard and there's all these beautiful flowers and this little boy is asking this little girl, like, you know, like it's kind of like it's cute, right? Then you look again and this is actually a gnome. This is actually a lady. And if you look at her one way, she looks young, but you look at her another way and she looks like an old hag. And the white flowers here in the pot, in the cups, they're white represents innocence in the tarot. And these flowers are actually from the nightshade family. They're datra, and they're beautiful. They have the big white trumpet flowers, but those can be highly poisonous, and so you wouldn't let kids play with them. Sometimes shamans use the datra to produce visions. So this card is saying that a lot of what you see in this card is an illusion. You know, datra is very, very poisonous, so it's not something you should plant around children or pets, because it can make people really sick. And so, but it's so pretty, right? Like, and it looks so, like the flowers are really big trumpet flowered white flowers and it just keeps flowering and flowering. So it's a really beautiful plant, but it's poisonous. And so the energy also, this person that's, oh, someone's looking over the children to make sure they're safe, but he's actually walking away. So this card is kind of like all an illusion. But what it's saying sometimes is maybe a lot of what your childhood, what you thought happened in your childhood was kind of an illusion. Because if you think about it, you don't really remember that much from your childhood until you get to kindergarten age. Yet your subconscious mind is formed then, like by the age of 6 or 7. And it's the most powerful, like it's a huge imprint on us. And so this can be talking about, you need to reconcile some energies from where you were brought up, kind of energy. And it also can represent the energy of forgiveness. So like of having to heal your inner child, to reconcile what happened to yourself when you were a child to an adult now. And it also can be talking about actually reconciling with someone that you haven't seen for a long time, or you had an argument or whatever with. And so this energy, the first step for reconciliation is forgiveness. So this card does represent forgiveness, but just because someone forgives you or you forgive someone doesn't mean that you actually want to hang out with them anymore. So this is saying there's a good chance that you have already met this person somewhere. But the energy I'm getting also, this could be you coming into a new situation, you know, a work situation, and not really, well, but they wouldn't be celebrating, you know. So it's hard to say. This is the only energy that's kind of iffy, you know. Competition, of course you're going to have competition. There's competition all over the world. And being left out in the cold, but I feel like it has to do with this energy. Having said that, you know, we already discussed that. Being left out in the cold is sometimes a perception people have because they don't feel like they fit in. And then we have the Page of Pentacles coming in. So there's some sort of, again, see, it's talking about your passion, and we have this on the pentacle. So you might be getting like an email or something saying, or maybe someone's phoned you and said, hey, I'd love to take you out on a date or whatever. And then at the same time, you get an email saying, hey, we've been looking for talent and would you come in for an interview? We have a job for, we have a career option for you that you might be really interested in, and it's in another city or it's another country or whatever. Then it just so happens the person that asked you out for the date that's ran into you somewhere is saying, hey, that's the city I'm from. That kind of energy. The universe has funny ways. And so then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And so this is really interesting energy too, because then I was just thinking, I had the weirdest dream, like a really strange dream in the wee hours this morning. It was different. And it was like waking up and just going, what the heck was that? And this is talking about a never-ending nightmare, or it can be suffocating boredom. And it was interesting. I was just like, after I woke up, I was like, is it Groundhog's Day? And it's Groundhog's Day on February 2nd. And so this energy can just be talking about being bored of the same old and ready to move on kind of energy. And so I feel like that might be part of it. But also, when I had this weird dream, it was so strange, I'm telling you. And it was like this nasty energy coming in. And it was really weird because I felt like I knew who the people were, but I could not see their faces. And all I did is I just started praying. I asked Jesus to come in because it was really nasty energy. And they were like, it was like they were in my dream and I could identify exactly who the people were, but they didn't look like they did in like when I knew them anyway. So it was that kind of, and then I got up and I thought I should check if when Groundhog's Day is, if I'm doing, because I'm going to be starting the readings for going into the beginning of February. And here it is on February 2nd. So this can represent that kind of energy. The energy of Groundhog's Day, though, is kind of a fallacy because people say like it repeats exactly the same over and over again. And that comes from when we're taught in school that the planets all revolve around in a perfect order, around the sun. They're just going like this in a perfect order. And they're doing more like this. The Milky Way is doing this. The whole universe is doing this. We're spinning, we're going like this. So you're never, ever in the exact same position, even if it seems like you are. Like, we can't tell that we're moving right now. Like, if you're sitting in a chair and watching this, you can't tell, but you're moving really fast right now. And it's not, and you aren't where, like, even if you woke up at the same time and you're making your coffee and you're going to go to work and you have your routine, and it feels like it's the same. It actually is in a slightly different location because you were spiraling out of that one and you're in a new area. The whole galaxy is doing that. So it's not like in a perfectly tight where you go, you're doing that around the sun, but the whole thing is doing it like this. Like, it's like up and down and around. It's not like in the same, like a record, And so but like, it's interesting because that Groundhog Day energy came up, and I looked it up and read about it, and it's just really weird energy that it came up here now. So, but sometimes this can just be enlightenment from source energy. And it was kind of like, it was really, I've never had a dream quite like that one before. It was really different. Maybe 2 or 3 times in my whole life have I had a dream similar to that, but this one was so intense. But I just I was really tired, and I was just like, Jesus, can you take care of these characters for me? And I went back to sleep. I wasn't afraid or anything, and it was really nasty. Like, it was a nightmare I was having, but I was just like, I can't be bothered getting up. I'm just going to ask Jesus to take care of it, that kind of energy. And then this is interesting because this card is coming right after, and this is when you know what you know, and you have conviction beyond a doubt. Like, this energy is like coming in as almost like, it's like this whole reading is like a confirmation for you. Like it's kind of saying, hey, you, if you've been feeling like you're like on your path and like some really, like you can feel the energy building and the momentum building, it is, because all of this is coming in, and anything that was holding you back is going to be gone. And you'll like, I just feel like if this is your reading, if you're feeling this, you'll know exactly what I mean. You just know it. You just know it inside. So this is conviction beyond a doubt. You know that these are the steps that you need to take. And even if it seems like, oh man, this is such a big step to make, and you know, I should be worried about all these things. It's just like, no, I know what I know. I'm going to do that. And it's that kind of energy. And I feel like, even now as I say that, because probably, what was it, 13, 14 years ago, I chose to leave the province I was in and move to where I am now, where it's really nice and warm in comparison. And I haven't missed it. Like I haven't gone back there once because I'm tired of snow. Like, no, I don't mind some snow, but I'm tired of 5 months of it, you know, and the minus 35 to minus 40 weather, and the, you know, and so that energy, when I decided to move, I knew what I knew. I knew I was going to do it. I knew it was going to work out, that I was going to stay there, like that kind of energy. I knew it was part of my destined path. And that's the kind of energy, like when you're feeling that energy. And then the Magician is coming in here. So the Magician is the first card that the Fool is, when that comes across when he's on his journey. And I feel like it's kind of like this energy is now over. This is already coming in place. If you haven't received the message yet, it's coming in. If you haven't received the love offer, it's coming in. You know, you're not going to be feeling this way anymore. This is an energetic upgrade, as above, so below, and it's pointing. The Magician is saying you're going to have all this new enthusiasm for life, and you're going to meet your divine partner, and it's going to be somewhere other than where you are now. Bottom line. There you have it. Really, really cool. And so the Magician has all the tools like you have here. And the infinity symbol represents like this infinite potential. And that's talking about these possibilities coming through. And then he's got an Ouroboros around his waist. And an Ouroboros is a snake that's biting its tail. And it's interesting because we're moving out of the year of the horse. And the year we're in right now is the year of the snake. So the snake sheds its skin and releases whatever is not serving it. On February 1st, we have a full moon in Leo energy. And so that is a great time to release anything that you haven't up to yet. And then the very next day is Groundhog Day. So, you know, this is, I feel like it's enlightenment coming in. And I feel like this reading is really interesting because that dream I had, like I'm still feeling that, like, whoa, that was like, what was that? And I still want to meditate on it, you know. After I get my readings done here, I just want to sit and meditate and just, what was that about? That kind of energy. So, you know, I feel like it's coming in here now. We have this energy here again. It's okay. So now we're talking about the Pentacles. So this energy is talking about, this is the only card with the Pentacles where the person is actually working on the coin. So this is talking about actually making money. And this may be this idea that I feel like it's an idea, you know, and you might have already started it and you're already working on the second coin and you have these to go. Or you might be finishing up a project so that you have the money to be able to move. That's the kind of energy. Or you're getting your graduation papers, like you know, you've been working 2 jobs or working a job and working to get a degree, and now you have the degree, or you have the ticket, or you have you made the team. That it's that kind of energy. Moving off to calmer waters with God. Yeah, there we have it. So the rough waters represent emotions that are like troubling or whatever. And this is, again, this figure here with the small child quite often represents that energy I was talking about needing to reconcile your childhood with now, because your subconscious mind, and this is overthinking, could have you kind of, like, oh, should I really do this? Like, this seems too good to be true. It's not too good to be true. It is, like, for a lot of people would be saying, oh, that's too good to be true, but the cards aren't lying here. It's like, you've been waiting for this, and you've also been working for it. And now we have a King of Cups coming in. Look at that. So the King of Cups is sitting in in this water here, waiting with a cup of love. So when you move off to calmer shores, I feel like that's when this is going to happen. Isn't that interesting? Because the king is sitting right on his throne, on this slab, and he's got a cup of love, and he's got his right foot forward. He's ready. Oh, you're here. Here's your cup of love kind of energy. And he doesn't care if there's emotion all in chaos. He could care less what other people are saying about this. He has conviction beyond a doubt, and he's feeling this passion that he wants to offer this cup of love to you. And I mean, he's really sure of it. And so the King of Cups is the most emotionally available, because he is the one who's in most control of his emotions. He can handle emotions, no problem. He's been there, done that. And so he's the most stable in love kind of relationship. Really interesting energy. And then look at this. The truth comes in. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, God, or you, God. I'm claiming this reading along with all of my collective here. That's all like, yay. This is a good reading. This is, even if you're not looking for love, it could be something that you love to do or be. But I do feel like it's talking about romantic love because of the energies here. And so, yeah, like to have 4 aces come in like this. And it's also sitting on this energy. So this may be someone you know that, you just haven't seen since you were a child or whatever. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So there's the Queen holding her cup. And she's the only one with the lid on it. This is the only cup with the lid on it. And then she is like sitting on her throne, and it's saying that she is a container of unconditional love. She never runs out of love. And this is the most maternal. This is the most likely to be married, to make that commitment. She's like, she loves her family. She loves her children. Like, she loves being a mom, that kind of energy. So this is someone that represents the maternal line also. So this can represent your mom and your grandma and your great-grandma, that kind of energy going down the line. And then we have the Chariot coming in. So this is happening, like it's already dun, 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 dun. And so like when there's no reins on this, and notice there's no reins on this, and it's because you're on your destined path, and it's what God has designed for you. So you and your partner are meant to have do something really cool together, like it. Oh, and then look at this at the very top. It's your soulmate or your twin flame energy, whichever yeah, this is a beautiful reading. So look at right at the top of the pyramid here. Wow, I don't think I've ever, this is like, I was going to say I'm going to take a picture of this, but I always do because I use them for my thumbnails. But like, this is a really very beautiful reading. Like this is like, wow, this is really a beautiful reading. We have like being really busy right now, something happening in where you're at and you're just done with it kind of energy. And it's also, I feel like you're on the verge of ending something maybe here and beginning something new. And this blessing is coming in so you can do it. There might be a lot of competition, but you're the one who's being chosen to do it. And then this is about going off to calmer waters on distant shores, like that energy there. So this could be, hey, you are moving. And even if this isn't location, it's like you're making a big move in your life, like career-wise or whatever. And then you're on your destined path, and your soulmate is involved. And we got both the queen, like, look at this, is sitting right on, like, this is sitting right on the king and the queen of cups with the soulmates and the chariot. This is the truth. And this energy, I feel this is enlightenment from source energy, but it's also, it's about not, that there is no such thing as Groundhog Day. Like, even if just recognizing the one constant we can count on is change. So if you're afraid of change, it's changing anyway. It just seems like it's not. And this is talking about this energy coming in, a message coming in, maybe of an opportunity. Yeah, you're going to have to wait, Stella. And then we have the Ace of Wands, so new passion. And this is the Empress energy here. So I feel like this is saying you're going to have like everything that you want here. I don't feel this is the Empress energy now that we've gotten through this reading here. And if it is, you'll be over here. Maybe the Empress was really interested in the King of Cups. Maybe she knows him too. Who knows? But we don't really care because, hey, this is your journey. Really, really beautiful reading. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I like. Sometimes I have like a few readings in a row where I'm like, oh, I don't even want to post this. But, you know, not every reading is going to be beautiful like this one, that's for sure. So I know, because I've been doing a few. I'm just so like, this makes me so happy for all of us in the community here. I think each and every one of us should claim this reading. Find a way to make it yours. That's what I'd say. So I'm going to clarify this with my oracle. It's almost like I just want to leave it alone, but I'm going to clarify it. And we're just going to see, okay, get a little bit more information. So I started this oracle back in 2007. It's Tales from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and that's TAILS. So it's, I'm an artist, and I did 64 paintings, and I completed the last painting by 2020. And a lot of them are really big dragon paintings, and they're detailed, and there's like all these crystals and all this energy in them. It's a very interesting oracle. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And I finished the 64th painting in 2020. And so now I'm just getting ready to bring it out and bring the actual... Well, you can come up here, sweetie. Come up here and purr like your job is. Quit being a pain in the butt. And so are you excited? Say, I want to claim this reading for me. So yeah, no, like, so I am in the description box below. I will put the numbers of the cards here and in the order they appear. So if you want to take a look at what the paintings say and what they look like, feel free to do so. All right, we're going to clarify, and I just want to tune in a bit more. Are you purring, good girl? Yeah. Yeah. Are you a happy girl? Are you a happy little purring cat? Yeah. You're excited. Say, this is a good reading, Colette. Some readings, she just leaves. She won't even stay for them. Here we go. So we've got the energy of the moon coming in. So this is, Cancer is a sign of like the adolescent young girls kind of energy. So it's very emotional. I feel like it's coming in. We do have a full moon. We did have on January 3rd, we had a full moon in Cancer. So you might have been feeling like really emotional back then, and something may have happened then. Because if you have this kind of energy, that's when these guys like to do their, like, you know, gossip and everything on the full moon. It usually comes out then. And so we have the Cancer energy is actually, it is ruled by the moon. So the Cancer moons are very intense. And so that was on the 3rd of January, but we have that one in Leo on the 1st of February, which would be a great time to let go of anything that you haven't. from the snake energy. And then we're going to look at, we've got Scorpio coming in. So this is about the sexual gladiator, and Mars and Pluto is ruling that. And this, what Scorpio does the best is unite. And so this is about elevating other people and or conquering them. It's that kind of energy. Whereas the Cancer energy is, do you want to be engaged? Well, maybe so. Or do you want to be entrenched? Like, so you don't want to be dragged down. You want to be like the King of Cups, just whatever, sit in the eye of the storm, when it's all emotional. I just want to point out, when my horoscope signs come up, I'm not saying this person is a Cancer and that one is a Scorpio. It may be true for you, so take it how you intuitively. But like that, oh, that person represents this person and they're a Scorpio or they're a Cancer. I'm looking more at the state of being. This is a general collective reading, so I'm looking at what does, because we all have a little bit of every sign in us. So I'm looking at what can we learn from the Cancer energy when it's at its best, and the same with the Scorpio. And then what stage of life is it? Because sometimes that can really, it's not so much the age that the person is, but the stage, like the energy. And so this is the jealousy is a karmic space. And yeah, I mean, a lot of times, hey, if you're, who wouldn't be jealous of this? Come on. So that energy is, I'd rather be better than bitter. And this is talking about, like you have everything you need here. The base root chakra concerns with survival, your basic needs. And so this is about having a strong attitude. So you can wish on a star, on a shooting star, but then you actually want to put some effort into whatever you're wishing for. You don't want to just sit there. We have Mother's Worry coming up. And so there could be some energy around that, but I don't really get that. I feel like this card has been coming up a lot because a lot of people call the Earth Mother Earth, and there's so much happening on the planet right now. Like if you watch the news for more than 5 minutes, you could get really like scared or depressed. There's just so many things. And then the next day it's changing again. And that's one thing that I've noticed. There's a lot of truths coming in. So, things that were hidden for years and years are coming out now. And so it's a really different energy. And it's like, one, you have to have a lot of balance. And that's this card coming out, the Hangman. So the Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge upside down so that he can get a different perspective. And I feel like that's this energy for you, for anyone who wants to claim this reading. Me too. So this is about finding that balance, right? And looking at things from other people's perspective as well as from your own. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So this is all about synchronicity. And the Wheel of Fortune is actually like 3 wheels, and they're all turning together. And then the past, present, and future come together, creating synchronicities. We have the energy of the guiding star. So this is about using your intuition as well as your logic. And so the energy is talking about, the guiding star is like the North Star. And that's what, when you're on your journey, the reward. Now I'm just looking for the reward. Where is the reward? Well, it's sitting right on the reward. So this is the Pentacle reward, the North Star I was talking about. It's talking about because you followed your intuition and followed your North Star, that the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And that's why the Chariot is coming in so fast. And then we have surrender. So this is talking about the energy. Yeah, I just am feeling like this cold energy that you were feeling, possibly of feeling left out in the cold here. That's meant to get you off your butt and realize you need to that you have everything you could gather from that place, and that you're supposed to stick out and don't take it personally at all. And that this is the surrender is actually surrendering to God's plan for you. And that's sitting right here on the Knight of Cups. the divine partner, and also all these opportunities. So it's like there's like it's this. I just don't. This is a really good reading. So the perception. Sometimes we think the grass is greener on the other side because, and then when we get there, we find out it's fake. But I feel like that's kind of the energy of this here, where it's also saying we could be in a place and it's perfect for us, but then after a while it wears off. Like if you've ever gone on one of those all-inclusive trips where you stay at a resort and you're there for 2 weeks, for the first few days in particular, it's just magic, right? Everything's new and the food is great. And then by the second week, oh, the menu's the same, and that kind of energy, and it like the novelty wears off. And so it's kind of like that energy, like that Groundhog Day energy. And so it's kind of like about no matter where you are, you can get into this energy. It doesn't mean it's a bad place to be so much as it might just be time to move on. And then we have pride. So the karmic space of pride. What is that covering? Okay, so that's on this energy right here. Yeah, and it's saying persuasion again. I just feel like don't take it personally. That's what I feel like it's saying. The world is coming in. So the world is the last card of the journey that this Fool goes on. And I feel like after this kind of dream that Groundhog Day energy, it's like it's time to move on kind of energy. So that's what it's saying, like it's a good time to move on. We have the Chariot saying, yeah, and then we have it. So we have it twice. And this is also saying that your masculine and your feminine energies, like in my oracle, it's actually a ball, the yin yang, but it's spinning, like I said, spinning and spiraling like that, like that's what it's representing. And that the masculine and feminine energies within yourself are really balanced. And so when you're really balanced in your masculine and feminine energies, and you meet someone else that's really balanced in their masculine and feminine energies, then it's that's when you have like that really awesome energy. And then on this, we have worldly and otherworldly desires. So this is giving yourself total permission to go after your authentic heart desires. And sometimes, if we're multitasking like this, and it's usually when we're doing our best to get worldly desires, we sometimes forget about the needs of our soul. But then look at this, at the very last card here is the Sun. So God's saying, yeah, this is for you. Oh, let's all claim this one. Okay, I'm so I'm just happy to deliver this one. If you've also enjoyed it, please do like and comment. Subscribe to the channel if you resonate with the energy. And I'll be back tomorrow with another reading. I don't know if I can promise one as beautiful as this, but I will do my best. Bye for now.